Hi, today I'm going to talk about instant static meshes and a few simple ways that you can create them and add them in your Unreal Engine scenes. The benefits of using instant static meshes is the fact that you can have a large number of the same mesh, for example 1000 instances of one mesh, and make your GPU think that you're only rendering one mesh. If you use the regular static meshes, even if they are nanite, if you put 10 instances of one static mesh, the draw calls will be tenfold. But using instant static meshes, it will result in only one draw call. And that's a huge performance benefit. For the past, it was really hard to create the instant static meshes and position them in a blueprint actor. But in Unreal Engine 5.4 and 5.5, we have two very simple ways, and also on top of that, we can always use the foliage tools that were even available in Unreal Engine 4. So first, I'm going to show you the old method of using foliage tool, then using Unreal Engine 5.4 or plus modeling tools, which we use the pattern feature of them to create instant static meshes. And after all of them, we use the updated tools in Unreal Engine motion design tools in 5.5, and we use cloners for that. The last method is my favorite because I love doing stuff with cloners and it reminds me of good old Cinema 4D, and I think motion design tools are really fun to play with and they give you the most freedom. So first method was the foliage tool. We simply go into the foliage mode, select a static mesh. I want to scatter my 3D logo, and you have to press the single mode to manually place them everywhere. This is a flat landscape, by the way, and I've checked the landscape and the static meshes so I can put my foliage on them. This is one logo, and one for this. As you can see, because of the pivot, they are put from the middle. But we can offset the height, offset the Z, until they are good. But for this method, you have to always go back to the foliage mode to be able to select each instance of them, move their position and rotation and everything. As for the second method, we're going to use the modeling tools and the pattern feature of it. First, we add our logo, then we go to the modeling tools, and on the X form, we click on the pattern. The pattern tools act like a cloner, and it has three modes: line, grid, and everything in between. I'm using the circle mode, but the most important point here is the randomness you can add here. You can set the start translation and end translation. For example, for the end translation, I'm going to set them in a way that it spirals into 1 meter above. Or more, like this, and increase the count so you can see better. But the cool thing here is that you can add randomness to it. I can add jitter or randomness to their rotation or even to their position, randomness to their position. Now let's say that I'm happy with this. The most important thing here is that you have to check create instant static meshes here, not the two other options. Actually, this is create instant static mesh components. It converts all of these instances to one actor with an instant static mesh component on it. So I check this, set this on the current folder, but it doesn't really matter, and click accept. Now it creates a one actor, as I mentioned, with one instant static mesh component, and all of these static meshes are rendered as if they were only one static mesh of this type. And you can move them together. It's like they're in a group and they are very lightweight. And if you combine this with nanite, they will be even more lightweight. Now here's the question. Let's say you decided to change the translation of each of these. It isn't really possible with selecting the actor, but you can go back to the modeling, to the X form, and use the instant static mesh editor. With this, you can select each of them, scale them, and change their translation and everything you think. Here is also a cool thing. If you select the instant static mesh actor, you have to pay attention that these are instances. If you click on the instant static mesh component and you change the material on each of these, all of them will change together. Even if you change the mesh here, the mesh on all of them will change together. There's also another trick with the modeling tools. You can manually place your static meshes in your scene, however you see fit. Then select all your meshes, go to the modeling tool, and harvest instances. On the character instances. And I hit accept. All of these will turn into an actor with instant static mesh component on it. But here's the catch. With this tool, you can have multiple static meshes and harvest instant static mesh from them. For example, like this. I duplicate this car model a bunch of times. I select all of these, which are 3 different meshes. And then I select harvest instances. It detects that these are 3 separate meshes with 3 different colors around them. I click on accept, and it creates 3 separate actors for each of them. One actor for the characters with the same mesh, another actor for the cars, and another for my logo. And as before, I can edit the position and rotation of each of the instances by using the Instant Static Mesh editor. For the last method, which is only doable in Unreal Engine 5.5 and up, use the motion design tools. So I've enabled the motion design plugin in my project. For this, you have to use the motion design outliner, not the normal outliner, and use it here, motion design outliner. You need this. You have to use this, not the regular outliner. I put my character static mesh. I select my static mesh character, and I use the cloner. I use the cloner actor in my level, for example here. I delete the default cube, and I add my character mesh, cloner. The cloner works very similar to Cinema for the cloners here. I choose, for example, the cylinder option. You can randomize it and everything. And you can also create a linked effector. For my effector, I want to decrease the scale. And now you can clearly see the effect of the effector or the cloned static meshes. Okay, I'm happy with this. Now the cool thing with the updates of the Unreal Engine 5.5 motion design tools is that you can convert your cloners, even with their effectors, to a single merged static mesh actor, to some dynamic mesh actors, and even to an instant static mesh actor. At first, I told you that we have to use the motion design outliner because it's only possible in that, not in the regular outliner. In the motion design outliner, we right click on our cloner, and only here we have the option of convert cloners. The static mesh merges all of these meshes into one static mesh. To static meshes creates many different static mesh actors on your level. To dynamic mesh, and dynamic meshes is the same concept. And to instant static meshes, which is what we want here, convert selector cloners to instant static mesh actors. We click on this, and it asks me where it wants to save it. Select this folder, logo folder. We go to the logo folder, and it created the level instance, which is actually an instant static mesh actor in itself. It's like this. I have to quickly do that again. This time I do this with my logo mesh. I'm doing this in the normal outliner. You can create this in your normal outliner, but for the conversion you have to use the motion design outliner. This is my logo mesh. It has to be movable. Now I go to the motion design mode. This is the motion design outliner. Click on the cloner. Convert cloners to instant static meshes. Save them here. And I go outside of motion design mode. Okay. I delete my cloner. Now as you can see, I converted my cloner into an instant static mesh actor. And I can edit the instances. You guessed right. By going to the modeling mode, Xform, click on the instances. Here, not this. And this instant static mesh editor here. As simple as that. I hope you learned something new about instant static meshes in Unreal Engine today, and I hope you decided to use more of them in your projects because they are a huge saver on your system resources and they hugely increase the performance. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and if you like it and you want to see me making more tutorials about my Unreal Engine process, including blueprints, interactive audio-visual, interactive experiences, minigame projects, and more technical stuff, you can donate to me on the link that I put on the video description. And for now, I only accept crypto, so I can hopefully have more free time to do more tutorials and breakdowns of my project. And your donation is really important for me, because if I'm sure that I just earn a little money out of these videos, maybe I will quit my day job someday and make more of these videos. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.